Okay, everybody, part 2 of my video message tonight, really so that I can split what's happening across the club. You'll obviously have seen the announcement now that we've managed to secure the services of Graham Ross as head coach again for the 2020 season, which I'm particularly delighted about. Rossi has great experience in the Brisbane football, Queensland community, so to have that stability in the first team I think is very, very important. Graham drives high standards, doesn't accept people cutting corners, which is something that really resonates with me, and we've already struck up a good relationship as he's stated in the media. So I'm looking there to make sure that the first team environment now becomes something that all players at our club aspire to achieve, and hopefully higher. We're pretty close this week as well to announcing under 20 coach and Graham's first team assistant, which will then knock down into our 18s appointment as well. So really looking there to build a nice strong program so that, again, continuity is key, but we're in a position there that the guys have got time during pre-season to go and recruit who they feel is necessary to improve that performance phase of the club, and also to ensure that some of the younger players in the 18s and 20s get the opportunity to train up with the first team and then fight for their spot, as should be the case with all first team football. So really happy we're in a good space with the first team and the senior squads in terms of coaching staff and being able to then build and plan for next season. So that's good. I'll be honest with you, down in the 13s to 16 age groups with the NPL is a little bit more challenging in terms of recruiting coaches. As I've said previously, one key thing for me is to make sure that coaches are fully accredited and able to do the job. That's not just my preference, that's licensing factor from Football Queensland. So that's certainly something that I need to give a lot of consideration towards next season. So yeah, moving into that space, we will have to make sure that coaches across the NPL space are fully qualified from Football Queensland. So that might give you an indication that there's going to be a few little changes happening in that area, which is good, is a positive. In terms of player retentions, I still have questions coming through. I don't really want to retain too many players at the moment because I haven't seen people play. So if I'm being brutally honest, the retention letters that have already been sent out is me trusting my coaching staff, which is very important. But I need to also make sure that from a club perspective, the standard of the trial process is efficient so that we get to see talented players and bring them into the club and retain even more players that are already at the club that might not have received that retention letter. So really don't panic too much at the moment. It's more for me to get my eyes on people and to make informed decisions. Cards on the table. I've had scouts out the last 2 weekends watching local football in our region, which has given me some really invaluable feedback as to, I guess, what our competition currently looks like with some of the other clubs, and also gives me an idea to compare and contrast where we currently sit without just looking at league tables. I'm looking at individuals within teams. So the wheels are certainly in motion behind the scenes to ensure that all our homework is done so that when we do move into the trial period in October, I've got a full picture of what's available to us as a club. So that's what's happening behind the scenes. I know people are still desperate to find out coaching staff for next season. I'm still a work in progress with some of those. So as I've said before, I'm not going to make broken promises and rush into decisions. You get all the facts off of me as best I can. So at the moment, I don't have coaches for all teams within that 13 to 16s age group. But even from here in Guangzhou, I'm certainly making sure that's something we're working on. So that's where we sit in those two programs at the moment. So I hope that gives you a bit of motivation for the last week of the season. I hope you finish strongly. I'll be watching from afar with the results and with performances, getting feedback from the coaches. And then as and when I can update you with more information from my side with coaches and from Football Queensland in terms of competition structure in that senior age group, I will certainly endeavour to do so. Thank you.